أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء وخاتم المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا بالقاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. واللعنة الدائمة الباقية على أعدائهم من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد, Assalamu alaikum everyone. In the month of Ramadan, we had the opportunity to go through a brief review of Surah Yasin. We were not able to complete that, and so the promise was that we will go through it on the first Thursdays of the month when I'm here. So we are still going into that surah. Basically, the surah consists of three fundamental concepts: Tawheed, Nubuwwat, Tawheed, and Mahad. This is the order in which the themes have been discussed. And of course, it ends with the summary at the end of the surah, summarizing all three concepts in a brief manner. Till the discussion that we had, we talked about the message and the messenger, the earlier part in the month of Ramadan, about the Prophet of Islam and his message. We also looked at the various sections dealing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the concept of Tawheed. And now we are into the third main part of the surah, and that is the Mahad and the hereafter. Basically, this is a section which comes from ayat number 48 to 68. We were not able to complete that section last month when I was here. But let me connect to the last ayat that we talked about it. One of the things that the mushrikeen of Makkah, although they believed in God, but they also had idols. This is where we call them, and they were not atheist or mulhid, they were mushrik. One of the fundamental concepts that they refused to accept was the issue of resurrection, that human beings will be brought back to life, this whole process of Qiyamah and the judgment and the life in hereafter. They said, once the people die, that's the end of the story. And so this was one of the main issues that they actually used to ridicule the Prophet about it. And so we ended with a description about it, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Yasin that, this whole issue of resurrection, the doomsday and then the resurrection, is just sayha, one voice, and that's the end of the dunya. One voice and all human beings come back to life. It is as simple as that. And then the ayat we ended with was this ayat, فَالْيَوْمْ لَا تُظْلَمُ نَفْسٌ شَيْئًا وَلَا تُجْزَوْنَ إِلَّا مَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. That on that day there will be no dhulm at all. Why? Because whatever you see on that day is actually the manifestation of our own actions. So there is no room for zulm. Injustice is not only that Allah will not do it, the whole process is such that it is impossible for a zulm to be there, because each person will face the consequences of his own deeds, good or bad. So there is no issue of zulm. Nobody is going to change things. It is your own doing that you will face on the day of judgment. And so continuing with that, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about, and this is the normal way, whenever He talks about Qiyamah, He will talk about both sides, the negative and the positive. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala begins with the positive ones, where He says, إِنَّ أَصْحَابَ الْجَنَّةِ الْيَوْمِ فِي شُغُلٍ فَاكِهُونَ هُمْ وَأَزْوَاجُهُمْ فِي ظِلَالٍ عَلَى الْأَرَائِكِ مُتَّكِئُونَ لَهُمْ فِيهَا فَاكِهَةٌ وَلَهُمْ مَا يدعون سلام قولا من رب الرحيم. The simple translation would be this: surely the people of paradise on that day shall be busy in enjoyment. They and their spouses shall be in shades, reclining on the couches. Therein they shall have fruits, and they shall have whatever they desire. Peace, a word from the merciful Lord. Basically, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does here is He's talking about the positive group first. Those who are Ashabul Jannah, the people who will go into the Jannah. The very first thing He says about their state. Shughulin means they were busy with something. Fakihin in the meaning of, they will be happy. And so their state will be such that in Jannah they will be rejoiceful, they will be happy. There is no issue of, worrying at all. All the worries and troubles is for dunya. This is Darul Bala and that is Darul Jaza. And especially those who are in Jannah, there will be no issue of worrying at all. So this is the overall state of those who are Ashabul Jannah. Second thing, the place. It's just a way of, giving us a preview of what will be the place there. And what Allah describes is just one scene. That they will be reclining on couches with their spouses. Perhaps husbands would take their wives to Jannah with shafa'at. Shafa'at goes at different levels. And many wives will do shafa'at for their husbands if they like them. There's no guarantees. In Akhirah, it's not the same thing. Things can change over there. And so, this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, the Ashabul Jannah will be reclining on couches, and so the scenery is being presented to make it easier for and to understand just the way we see in dunya. Especially, putting it in the sense that there will be shades. Whether the shades would be because of the housing that they have or the trees. Some places where we see the description in the Quran that, they will just pull the branch down and the fruits will come. And then it goes on to more specific example that they will have fakiha. Fakiha means fruits. Not only the fruits is just one description of it. وَلَهُمْ مَا. What is the last word there? Whatever they want, whatever they desire. Ishtiha, and this is where, when we look at the word fakiha, fruit. I remember we had a teacher in Qom. We're talking about some of the ayat of Quran, talking about the scenery of the blessings that Allah is going to give us in the Jannah. And when he talks about the fruits, he says, these fruits are not necessarily like the fruits that we have here. It could be similar, but it would be probably better everywhere, whether it's taste or shape. And then he gave a very interesting example. He said, for us in Iran, we don't have mangoes. We here in India, they have this something called ambe. In Farsi you call it. Ambe. He says, we hear about it, it's so delicious, so good, but we don't know. So we just have this imagination of that. So he says, just as this ambe is for us in this dunya, these fruits of the Jannah is in the same way. So we get the description in the Quran, but the real thing only we will know once we get it, inshallah, in Jannah. And the most important thing, and this is where, the issue of muqarrabeen, sabiqeen, there are even levels in Jannah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is an issue. Whatever is your objective, that is what you're going to get at the end for the good doers. It depends on the levels. If people are thinking, I'm doing all this because I want to get a stream of milk and honey, this is what they'll get. Praying so much for Hurul Ain, this is what they'll get. But there are people who, for them, the greatest of bliss would be this qurbat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That pleasure of, being the close. And this is one example, Salamun qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. These are the people who will get salam. And this will be, interestingly, there are different ways Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the Day of Judgment. But here, salam is coming from the Lord Himself. He is greeting the mu'mineen in that way. And this is not necessarily for everyone, but for those who are really at that level. And the description there, that is coming from the Rabb who is Rahim. And this is where we come to realize that, yes, Jannah is basically manifestation of our hard work. This is what will come. But we cannot deny and forget the issue of the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the role of shafa'at, and the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to attain higher levels through the wasila and the tawassul of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad salawatullah alayhim ajma'een. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes to the negative group. وَامْتَازُوا الْيَوْمَ أَيُّهَا الْمُجْرِمُونَ أَلَمْ أَعْهَدْ إِلَيْكُمْ يَا بَنِي آدَمَ أَنْ لَا تَعْبُدُوا الشَّيْطَانَ إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ أَنِ اعْبُدُونِي هَذَا صِرَاطٌ مُسْتَقِيمٌ. Be known today, O the guilty ones. Didn't I advise you, O the children of Adam, that you should not worship the shaitan? Surely he is your open enemy, and you should worship me only. This is the right path. Now, when we look at this other segment, the first one, well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about, they will be the people of Jannah would be rejoicing. They will be reclining on the couches. They will have fruits and other things and whatever they want. And the best thing is the salam from Rabbi Rahim. Talking about the other group, immediately you see even the style changes. Ayyuhal mujrimun. Those who are guilty ones. Those who have committed crimes according to the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is being said here, although there is not possibility for them to kind of, go into another group where they don't belong. It's not that you can have that kind of safarish or rishwat and things like that. No, but this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to rebuke them. Wamtazu means become different. Separation there. Imtiyaz between the good doers and the bad group. And this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, move away. Don't try to mingle or get close to Ashabul Jannah, because you are mujrimun. And then He says, remembering the way especially the mushrikeen of Makkah, the way they used to ridicule the message of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the term alam ahad ilaykum. Ahad. It means something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had talked about it. He had given to us as a covenant. And the covenant is not to obey the shaitan. And this is where we have to realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done this repeatedly in different ways. Sending of Anbiya and Mursaleen. And the Aimma who came later on. Revealing sending down the books to guide the people. These were some very basic methods that we see. And then even in the fitrah and the nature of the human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this inner light. If there is a human being who really is left alone, without external forces, when the truth is shown to that person, he or she will accept it. You know why we call a non-believer as a kafir? That's a common word, isn't it? Kafir comes from kufr. What does kufr mean? Kufr means to cover something. Kufr basically is a hijab. And the reason why, basically a kafir is known as kafir in a technical meaning, there has to be some relation between the technical terminology and the literal meaning. And when we talk about kafir, somebody who doesn't, believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, basically its literal meaning, there is a link there, that there is a nur that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in his nafs and ruh. But he has concealed it. He has put a cover on it. And because he has put the cover on it, he cannot see the path anymore. And this is where we call a person, the non-believer, as a kafir. And so this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even on the level of fitrat, has basically provided the guidance for the human beings. Besides that, we see many, many examples, even in Surah Yasin, when we were talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the section on Tawheed, many signs that we see around ourselves in the nature, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again and again, He says, look at these signs and that they will lead you to me. Then we come to the issue, the second thing. So the first one, worship me. This is a covenant that are given to you from day one. The second one is don't worship the shaitan, because he is your open enemy. And it's interesting to realize that, this whole story of Adam alayhi salam in the Jannah. Now, where was it exactly, the location? That's not a matter for discussion tonight. But one of the reasons why this whole incident happened, shajara mal'una, the shajara mamnu'a, the forbidden tree, and the fruit of it. Why did this whole issue happen? And this happened not in dunya. This happened outside that. This happened in an area where there was no issue of Sharia coming in. The laws had not come yet. The whole process of imtihan had not started. And therefore this whole issue of committing sins for human beings the process has not even started. If I may use the terminology from human perspective, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam, and He says from even before his creation, He says, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. I am, going to make him a khalifa for the earth. So he was created to be sent to the dunya. But, using our own language, I would say, once Adam was created, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, would probably have said, what is the hurry? Be my guest, just stay here. If you go to dunya, you have to work for yourself, everything. There is hardship there. Be my guest, everything will be provided for you. But then He puts one condition: don't go near that tree. And so the whole process of Sharia has not come down. He is not even on the earth. The issue of imtihan has not started. Why is this happening there? This is actually one opportunity Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to give to Adam and the children of Adam till the end of this dunya, to know who is your enemy. The whole, in a way, this was a preview of the struggle. The struggle that you are going to face in this dunya, the ultimate, enemy is the shaitan there. And he is your open enemy. And after that, we see the conversation that he has with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he refused to do sajda to Adam alayhi salam. Look at his audacity. First he says, at least, give me something in return for what I've done, worshipping you all the time. He was Ahl al-Tawheed. He was from the Muwahhideen. There are many in the Muslims who want to become like him. By refusing the whole concept of shafaat and things like that. Whereas we do not realize that the whole process of Tawheed depends on totally obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So his ibadat of Allah on one hand for thousands of years, refusing to do sajda of one human being because Allah asked him, comes to nothing. But Allah was fair and He said, okay, he said, give me a long life, as long as his children are there. I want to be there. And Allah says, I'll give you to an appointed time. So it's not fixed. It is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then look at his audacity. And this is there in the Quran for us to learn the lesson. He says that I swear that I'm going to misguide his children. All of them. From all different directions, he says, I'm going to come and set trap for them. But then, after saying such a big thing, he realizes his limitations. And at the end he says, إِلَّا عِبَادُكَ مِنْهُمُ الْمُخْلَصُونَ. That yes, I will misguide all of them, but I know my limitations. I don't have power over those of your servants who have been purified. The mukhlasun, those who have been purified by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, shaitan's misguidance does not influence them at all. Salawat pranay Akbar. And so the story of Adam alayhi salam is this is where Allah says, right from the beginning I told you that he is your open enemy. Then I say to worship me only, because why? This is the Sirat Mustaqim, this is the right path. And then the conversation continues. وَلَقَدْ أَضَلَّ مِنْكُمْ جِبِلًّا كَثِيرًا. As if this is in quotation there is going on. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, goes on to say that, remember that he has misguided. We'll come to the translation. أَلَمْ تَكُونُوا تَعْقِلُونَ هَذِهِ جَهَنَّمُ الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ فَاصْلَوْهَا الْيَوْمَ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْفُرُونَ. This is where we come to realize the translation that, after saying that be known today, be separated from the good ones, or the guilty ones, then I advise you, O children of Adam, that you should not worship the shaitan, surely he is your open enemy, and that you should worship me, this is the right path. And then this conversation is going on. He is certainly, referring to the shaitan, he certainly has led astray many groups from among you. Did you then not comprehend? This is the hell with which you were threatened. Enter into it this day because of what you disbelieved. Especially addressing here the mushrikeen of Mecca. The point here is that shaitan has misguided many people before you. When you study history, learn the lesson from history. For us, history is not story. History is actually the means of learning a lesson. And this is where we have to realize that when we talk about the concept of ibra, in Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf actually is the only story in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described the life of one person in kind of detail and in chronological order. Nowhere does he does this. You will see a story of Adam. Old age will come before, young age will come somewhere else. Bits and pieces from here and there, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses history only as a means of giving examples and for us to learn. But at the end of the story of Yusuf alayhi salam in Surah Yusuf, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, in this qisas, in these stories of the Quran, there is ibrat for you. Now it's interesting to look at the word ibra in Arabic. In Urdu also we say ibrat. In Farsi also we say ibrat. Means you look at something in present or in past and you learn a lesson. That we don't do such a thing. Now, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word, the stories are ibrat for you, in Arabic, ma'bar is the bridge. It's all from the same root. And basically what we are being told that, look at the story from the past, look at your situation in the present, and create a link between the two. Look at the story to learn lessons. So you look at the past in order to learn lessons for your future. So story is not for stories, actually to learn from the past. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this whole issue of traveling to different parts of the world, siru fil ard. It's not for vacation, although it's not haram. But the main purpose is to go there and look at, especially if you look at the ruins of the ancient civilizations, you actually then would be fulfilling this command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of going and looking at it and learning lesson that, this is what happened to them. And so we have to learn from that example to be among those who are following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Prophet and his Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wassalam. This issue of saying, هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون, هذه emphasizing that this is the Jahannam. You were threatened about it, but you didn't care. You ridiculed your Prophet about it. Now, اصلوها اليوم. Today, go into it. You were warned about it, you refused to think about it and prepare so that you don't go in there. Today is the day that you have to go in it. And the most important thing is that the foundation of our our salvation and najat. Amal is very important, but the foundation of that najat is actually the aqeedah. And therefore, look at the ayat, islawha al-yawm bima kuntum takfurun. The issue is that what you were denying and rejecting. Your rejection of Qiyamah becomes the basis for your going into the Jahannam. And this is where, we look at this issue. Inshallah, there are some more ayat dealing with the issue of Qiyamah. Since tonight is also the majlis for Isal Sawab, very briefly, few sentences as far as Azab Sayyid al-Shuhada is concerned, so that we can conclude the program and convey the sawab for the marhumin whose majlis has been sponsored. Karbala में भी दो फरीक थे, और वहाँ अगर आप देखें उन्वान जो है अजीब गरीब है. इमाम जाफ़र सादिक़ अलैहिस्सलाम से जो रिवायत है ज़ियारत वारिसा की, जो थर्सडे के दिन गालिबन आज पढ़ी भी गई है ऑलरेडी. Or are we doing later on? Later on. Oh, okay. I was thinking I'm free time. Okay. So normally, if you look at that, the issue in Karbala is not only, the 60th or the 61st year of the Hijrah, 10th of Muharram. Actually, it's all connected to history there. Imam says to us, the sixth Imam, that when you address Hussein, on the day of Ashura, he is not just one individual there on that day. He is the waris of Adam and Nuh and Ibrahim and Musa and Isa and Muhammad and Khadija and Ali and Fatima and Hassan alayhi salatu wassalam. And this is where, you see that then the other side, although we don't talk about it that way, but it is not difficult, उतना मुश्किल नहीं है इस बात को समझना कि अगर छठे इमाम ने इमाम हुसैन अलैहिस्सलाम को वारिस के उन्वान से पेश किया है. तारुफ जो है ये आदम और तमाम अंबिया और हमारे रसूल और अमीरुल मोमिनीन और इमाम हसन और जनाब सैयदा का वारिस हैं. ला महला जो सामने है वो भी कुछ विरासतों को लेके आया है, और वो दर हकीकत मुआविया का वारिस है, अबू सुफियान का वारिस है, नमरूद का वारिस है, फ़िरऔन का वारिस है, शद्दाद का वारिस है. और ये सिलसिला जो है अंबिया की जो विरासत है, इसका आखिरी जो है मंबा जो है वो अल्लाह सुब्हानहु व तआला है. और जब मुकाबिल में जो बेसिकली वो विरासत है उसका आखिरी लिंक जो है शैतान. ये सिलसिला चल रहा है. और इसी को देखें कि ख़ुद करबला में भी اصحاب امام حسین کے جو اشعار ہیں رجز کے، وہ واقعاً بہت ہی اہم ہیں. ہم نے کئی مقامات پر یہ اسی کو عنوان ہم نے بنایا ہے کہ اگر ہمیں سمجھنا ہے کہ کربلا میں کون لوگ تھے، بجائے ہسٹری دیکھنے کے، دوسروں کے اقوال کو دیکھنے سے، خود وہ جو ایک دوسرے کے خلاف وہاں لڑ رہے تھے خود انہیں سے پوچھا جائے، اور وہ بھی اشعار کے عنوان سے. عجیب و غریب ہے کہ جب وہ اپنا یزیدی لشکر کا ایک سپاہی آ کے اپنا ایک عنوان پیش کرتا ہے تو بیسیکلی یہاں سے جواب ملتا ہے کہ بھائی تم فلاں کے شیعہ نہیں ہو، بلکہ انت شیعۃ الشیطان. وہاں اس نے کہا تھا کہ بھائی ہم جو ہیں شیعہ عثمان ہیں، اپنا تعارف کروایا تھا، جہاں پر جو صحابی ہیں امام کے وہ کہتے ہیں نہیں بل انت شیعۃ الشیطان. ایک اور صحابی آتے ہیں اپنا تعارف کرتے ہیں کہ ہم ان لوگوں میں سے ہیں، ہم شیعۃ الرحمن میں سے تھے. یعنی یہ عنوان جو ہے شیطان اور رحمان، اور یہ پیروی دونوں طرف جو ہو رہی ہے، یہ سلسلہ وہاں بھی آپ کو نظر آتا ہے. اور اسی لیے ہمیں واقعاً اس سلسلے میں سوچنا چاہیے کہ انسان صرف اس وقت نہیں ہے، موجود تو اسی وقت ہے، لیکن اس کا سلسلہ جو ہے پوری تاریخ سے جڑا ہوا ہے. ہم تاریخ سے الگ نہیں ہو سکتے ہیں. ہمارے ویلیوز، ہماری شناخت، ہماری آئیڈینٹی، ایوری تھنگ ڈپینڈز آن آور پاسٹ ہسٹری. اور اس کو چھوڑے بغیر ول بی لاسٹ. اور اسی لیے کہا جاتا ہے کہ کبھی بھی اپنے ماضی کو انسان نہ بھولے. امام حسین علیہ السلام نے بھی اپنا جو تعارف کیا ہے آخری اتمام حجت کے طور پہ، اور اسی جملے پہ ہمیں ختم کرنا ہے کہ وہاں پر امام نے اتمام حجت کے طور پہ، تاکہ سامنے والوں میں کوئی یہ نہ کہے آخر میں کہ آئی ڈنٹ نو کہ یہ کون تھے. اور اسی لیے بالکل کلیئرلی کہا ہے کہ من عرفنی فقد عرفنی، جو مجھے جانتا ہے وہ جانتا ہے، جو نہیں جانتا ہے وہ سن لے. اور اس کے بعد جو جملے استعمال کیے ہیں، الست ابن بنت نبیکم، کیا ہم تمہارے نبی کے بیٹے کے فرزند نہیں ہیں؟ الست حمزہ عمی سید الشہداء عمی، کیا حمزہ باپ کے چچا کو بھی عرب ماحول میں اپنا چچا کہا جاتا ہے، کیا حمزہ سید الشہداء ہمارے چچا نہیں ہیں؟ الیس جعفر طیار عمی، کیا جعفر طیار میرے چچا نہیں ہیں؟ کیا ہمارے بارے میں اور میرے بھائی کے بارے میں رسول اللہ نے نہیں کہا ہے کہ یہ جو ہیں سید شباب اہل جنہ ہیں؟ اور اگر نہیں مانتے ہو کہ ہم ہیں یا کوئی اور کو سمجھتے ہو تو جا کے وہ اصحاب جو زندہ ہیں نام لیا ہے، جناب زید بن ارقم غالباً اور ابو سعید خدری، ان لوگوں کا نام لیا ہے کہ جا کے ان سے پوچھو. لیکن جو عنوان ہم پیش کرنا چاہیں گے کہ کربلا میں یہ جو سامنے تھے یہ صرف حسین کے دشمن نہیں تھے، ان کے دل میں بغض علی تھا. آپ دیکھیں امام حسین علیہ السلام نے اپنے اس تعارف میں ماں کا ذکر کیا ہے، الست ابن بنت نبیکم، جناب حمزہ سے رشتے کو بیان کیا ہے، جعفر طیار سے رشتے کو بیان کیا ہے، اپنے بھائی حسن سے رشتے کو بیان کیا ہے، لیکن بابا کا نام نہیں لیا ہے. کیوں نہیں لیا ہے؟ اس لیے کہ حسین جانتے تھے کہ ان کے دلوں میں نفرتیں ہیں. بابا کے نام لینے سے سوائے لان تان کے اور کچھ نہیں سنیں گے. کربلا میں صرف حسین مظلوم نہیں ہیں بلکہ علی ابن ابی طالب بھی مظلوم ہیں. ایام فاطمیہ قریب آ رہے ہیں. اکثر جو حضرات پوچھتے ہیں کبھی کبھی کہ جب دروازے پر لوگ آئے ہیں اور علی کو بلایا جا رہا تھا تو فاطمہ کیوں دروازے کے پیچھے گئی؟ عجیب و غریب ہے. سوال کرنے والے بھی اپنے ہوتے ہیں. وہ یہ نہیں دیکھتے ہیں کہ سامنے کون ہے. اب جب آپ سامنے والے سے بات کریں گے تو آپ اس کے نظریات کو ذہن میں رکھتے ہوئے اس سے بات کریں گے. اگر آپ کو معلوم ہے یہ ایک شخص کو بالکل مانتے ہی نہیں ہے تو اس کا نام لینا بے فائدہ ہے. یہ وہ لوگ تھے کہ جو علی ابن ابی طالب کو کسی بھی عنوان سے ماننے کے لیے تیار نہیں تھے. اور بعد میں جو واقعات ہوئے ہیں اس میں جو مکالمہ ہوا ہے رسول اللہ کے اس مسجد میں جہاں طلب بیعت کی بات ہو رہی تھی، اس میں بات بالکل کلیئر ہے. اس لیے جناب سیدہ وہاں جاتی ہیں، اور عنوان یہ تھا کہ آخر تم یہ تو کہتے ہو نا کہ محمد تمہارے رسول ہیں. جب کہا گیا کہ بھئی ہم اس دروازے کو جلا دیں گے، اس وقت کیا تھا؟ جناب سیدہ نے کہا تھا کہ یہ میرا گھر ہے. جب جواب ملا کہ ہمیں اس کی پرواہ نہیں ہے، اس وقت علی کا نام نہیں لیا ہے، کہا کہ یہ حسن اور حسین کا گھر ہے. عجیب و غریب بات ہے کہ تاریخ میں بھی اس پورے واقعے میں کبھی بھی اس گھر کو بیت علی نہیں کہا گیا ہے، ہمیشہ کہا گیا ہے بیت فاطمہ. یہ فاطمہ کا گھر تھا. یہ وہ مقدس گھر تھا کہ جہاں رسول اسلام 6 مہینے تک کم سے کم، ایک عام روایات جو اہل سنت والجماعت کتابوں میں ملتی ہے کہ فجر کی نماز کے وقت دروازے پہ آتے تھے، کہتے تھے الصلاۃ الصلاۃ انما یرید اللہ لیذھب عنکم الرجس اہل البیت. اس آیت کی تلاوت کرتے تھے، لیکن اسی دروازے پر آگ لگائی جاتی ہے. یہ وہ دروازہ تھا کہ جب یہ گرا ہے، علامہ امینی کا ایک بیان کیا جاتا ہے کہ وہ مشہد میں وہ تقریر کر رہے تھے، کہہ رہے تھے کہ تمہیں اندازہ نہیں ہے کہ یہ صرف دروازہ نہیں تھا، یہ صرف ایک لکڑی نہیں تھی، بلکہ اس دروازے میں ایک کیل تھی جو آگ کے پیوست ہو جاتی ہے جناب سیدہ کے پہلو میں. اور یہ وہ درد تھا کہ جو صرف ایک خاتون ہی محسوس کر سکتی ہے. اس لیے کہ جب جناب محسن کی شہادت واقع ہوئی ہے، اس وقت جناب فاطمہ نے علی کو آواز نہیں دیا ہے، بلکہ یہی کہا ہے کہ یا فضہ الیہ الیہ، فضہ آ کے مجھے سنبھالو. الا لعنت اللہ القوم الظالمین سیعلم الذین ظلموا ای منقلب ینقلبون. خداوند اس قلیل بات قبول فرما، ہمارے گناہوں کو بخش دے، ہمارے توفیقات میں اضافہ فرما، امام کے ظہور میں تاجل فرما. ربنا تقبل منا انک انت السمیع العلیم.